please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the hate boner Rosanna Pansino and others have for MrBeast. There is of course much in the way of criticism one can levy at MrBeast. Lunchly is a great example of it of late, especially now that more than one person has received their Lunchly with mould in it. It's not a good look for anyone really, is it? Leading the charge of that criticism was Rosanna Pansino. She still has a hate boner for MrBeast after the whole hide and seek video where she came third, was it? But in the video, didn't look like she came third at all. This aforementioned hate boner is clouding her judgment a bit. Another individual who has a bit of dislike towards MrBeast is DogPack, and that's where we're going to go today, because both of them are getting a bit of a pasting in the online space. Now the reason why they're getting a pasting is because in a video on Rosanna Pansino's channel, where they collaborated going through some accusations, images, work chat related memes and other such content, they make the accusation of Chris Tyson posting CP. They outright make that claim. They also make some rather interesting false equivalences and lead the charge with other accusations involving swastikas. The video is resoundingly being quite popular on her channel, much like any video she's done on MrBeast. So this should be interesting, shouldn't it? Especially when you use defamatory statements in a video and back it up with false information, which you have to backtrack on later for the umpteenth time. On Twitter, Scumbergovich, don't know if that's how you pronounce that or not, my apologies if wrong, struggling to understand this weird psyop happening, where MrBeast's largest critics are this cartoonishly incompetent. Are they on his payroll in order to dissuade anyone from investigating him again? Lamau, watch. This is going to end up like one of those online predator stings, where the investigation is so bungled that the evidence is no longer admissible in court. Reply, it's their motivation. DogPack is a disgruntled ex-employee, and Rosanna is pressed about a competition from like a year ago. There is so much questionable stuff against MrBeast that gets completely smushed, because these two will cover anything they hear about him. Reply, they should turn this poop over to the authorities then, instead of LARPing and posting. See, Sam? Do forgive my ignorance. I'm not sure if it's an acronym or scam spelled incorrect. Acronym might be it. Child, sexual, and then maybe? I'm reaching here, guys. Now, Augie had retweeted Frankie with a video, 4 seconds long. Here it is.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a ton of Nazi symbols.
Reply from Frankie, if it's not safe for your eyes, why is it safe to show on YouTube? Hello? Now, Augie had replied with a 2-second clip. Here's that.
Are you familiar with flattening?
What is that?
Now, as you can see so far, we're off to the races here. Just little bits here and there, nothing too concrete yet. DogPack had posted to Twitter, update. I have received the original source of the Ivanka photo. It's from a April 2000 British GQ magazine photoshoot. Surprisingly, it is actually her and she was 18 at the time. I'm sure now people will flip and say I should have reverse image searched the photo more before going to the authorities, the media. Also, Rowe first visited the FBI before filming the YouTube video, another lie that's been spread. Everything was handled in accordance with the law, and again, Rowe and I never reported Ava's allegations of 13 as fact. I showed what Ava alleged. I showed the law that if it actually was a 13-year-old, it would constitute as CP in my opinion. Other people ran CP as fact, not us. Willie Mac, you should have found this out before making your video. You clearly don't give a poop about doing a good job. I get we are just making YouTube videos, but you need to have some level of integrity before going forward with a story. Augie, why do I get the feeling MrBeast is going to that word you if he responds to the rest of your claims? DogPack has been getting a fair amount of criticism for poorly researched content. Seems to be a running trend at the moment with people who are far too full of themselves. No offense intended to you, DogPack, but you should never have made the video in the first place until you were certain of all the facts. And there is something very important about making sure when you produce any content, you either present the fact or you don't present anything related to it at all, because there's no point running with it being possibly correct or open to speculation. If it's open to speculation, you are essentially poisoning the well, and you are doing it on purpose to harm somebody. Now, Keemstar later tweeted a video, simply, "Dear Rosanna Pansino and DogPack 404. That is now where we're going to go.
Dear DogPack 404 and Rosanna, your blind hatred for MrBeast has set you up for the biggest L of 2024. You guys, over the last 24 hours, tried to convince the entire internet that MrBeast and Chris Tyson in a work chat were sharing CP. That's a heavy, heavy allegation.
Now, this part is important because it adds vital context to DogPack's tweet, doesn't it? I should point out the video in question is a collaboration on Rosanna Pansino's channel, not on DogPack's channel. As far as views go, it has done exceedingly well. In fact, it's actually gotten mostly positive feedback. As far as Rosanna as a creator goes at the moment, whenever she reports on MrBeast in a negative light, that is where the majority of her views are coming from, because it's definitely not coming from anything else. Comparatively, anyway. She knows this, so MrBeast is her piñata. Therefore, that invisible line of integrity, intellectual honesty, and then grifting becomes a little bit blurred when you make enough content and you know this is where you are going to get your views from anyway. DogPack isn't a very active creator at all. I know, imagine my shock.
You even came out with a statement that you reported MrBeast and Chris Tyson in their work chat to the FBI to investigate the CP. I knew something was wrong right away when Rosanna used the alleged CP in her thumbnail. In fact, she A/B tested it to see which thumbnail would perform the best. And now we're getting updates that it wasn't CP at all.
Just gonna say, if you're a creator and you're in possession of CP, you've got a problem, a huge problem. The kind where your hard drives, they might want to find their way to the police. You should probably go there as well. There's no version of any existence where it's okay for you, the creator, to have it, or to even consider using it for a thumbnail. Optics of that are one thing, but common decency is the main one. If you want to really stick it to someone, I get it, but at this point, no. You don't go that far.
We're getting updates that it wasn't a work chat. It was a meme chat created by Chris Tyson. And also, the anime and how you described the anime got exposed. And you misrepresented what the anime was about, and that's why the entire anime community is coming after you.
Now, this part fascinates me, because I looked at the like to dislike on the video. I haven't gone to the video and done anything with that like to dislike. It is resoundingly, yes, popular, happy. Let's chastise MrBeast. Get that money from that piñata, right? But Twitter's a completely different kettle of fish. I'm somewhat impressed with the nature of this being considered somewhat fake news and poorly researched and presented, that it hasn't gotten some kind of community guideline strike for peddling false information. Now, I do know the video is restricted to an extent as not suitable for all advertisers. That doesn't surprise me, considering some of the content within it. And I know this because of Rosanna's pinned comment.
This whole video and all these allegations were designed to destroy MrBeast's career and his reputation online. And they were false. The whole thing. You guys are quickly becoming an enemy of the YouTube community.
What cracks me up about that statement is, right now, people are in a rather peculiar spot. If they chastise MrBeast, they're clout and chasing that for the clicks, and Rosanna Pansino's more popular videos of late lend credence to it. If you defend MrBeast, then you're defending CP apparently. You're defending Chris Tyson. You're defending that sphere. That is how people are so desperate to pigeonhole rather than look at, evaluate, assess for themselves, and come to a conclusion of their own making. There's a bit of tribalism in this, and groupthink. I'm not entirely convinced it's a good thing.
If you're gonna go and put this false information out and try to label someone as a potential predator or a pedo with false information, you're an enemy to the entire community.
This is a sentiment I can agree with, and in this, there are glaring errors in Rosanna's video. Annoyingly, we can't cover them here, because if I show her video, I risk a copyright claim, or I risk being restricted as well. I don't want to be restricted. So I have to link her video and hope that you can draw the same conclusion. My view has always maintained a level of consistency when it comes to crimes committed. We in the online space should have nothing to do with it unless it has reached its conclusion. It's why the Halls of Injustice on my channel exists. Once the sentence is administered. If a sentence is administered. In this, no, this one is done with bad faith written all over it. And you can try and paint it any way you like, but the fact you think you're some kind of moral arbiter and that your video should be used as evidence, no, that's not how this should ever be. If anyone wants to disagree with me on that, go right ahead. We're going to have to agree to disagree on that, though.
I understand, Rosanna, that you have a beef with MrBeast. I get it, right? And DogPack, he's using this as a way to like boost his career. But how many times has DogPack been forced to walk back statements that he made and apologize and oops, I got this wrong?
No offense to DogPack here, but far too many. I understand when one is emotionally invested as well as critical about things that they can slip up. But how many slip-ups can you get away with before it becomes defamation? That's important, because this is where you ruin and pollute any credibility of anything that could be true with what you say. I earlier stated poisoning the well. This reeks of it, and bad faith, but mostly with the intent of poisoning the well. Whether DogPack is furthering their own reputation or career, I could never say, because they made 3 videos all about MrBeast and all diminishing in return.
Rosanna, you made claims that there were broken bones in the Beast games. That turned out to be not true. You guys are playing a dangerous, dangerous game where you could be sued for defamation, slander, because you are attempting to ruin this man's reputation and career.
And this is where the concern of what you are trying to attempt and what you are trying to do and what you say you think you're trying to do need to be highlighted. Your motivations are being resurfaced. In the case of Rosanna, it comes because of the hide and seek. Prior to that, there were no real issues with MrBeast. In the case of DogPack, there is an obvious issue here as an ex-employee. These motivations lead us to go down a path where our bias clouds our ability to judge or critically think. If you want to crap on MrBeast, go nuts. But defaming is a dangerous area to traverse, especially if a crime has been committed and no one will ever be able to find out the truth of it because you've poisoned it with other nonsensical claims, the majority of which have been walked back already.
But even worse than that, you're becoming the bad guys in our community. This is not good. You owe not just MrBeast an apology. You owe all of us an apology. Y'all lied to us.
Personally, I take my apologies in the form of chocolate. Good luck with that. Now, I'm going to go through a few more tweets before we finish. This is another billionth instance of DogPack running with things, telling the public they have something that is completely not true and gets owned when proper evidence comes out. Rosanna, you should be embarrassed because you put this guy on your channel. You made the implication there was CP in these work chats, and that is completely not true. The media also already ran with it 100% defamatory statements. Drama alert, MrBeast Company wrongly reported to FBI because DogPack Rosanna failed to research claims properly. First image is DogPack's tweet. The second image, you need to take your time to properly research these claims before publishing them. These are mistakes you can't make as a journalist, and you've done it multiple times now. Xylee makes a rather good point on Twitter. I kept telling y'all I haven't really been covering this MrBeast stuff because everyone who has made videos calling him out have been bad faith or massive clout chasers. I think that may change now because this is getting ridiculous. Reply, I'm sure DogPack is shaking in his boots. I don't think that's the point, but you go, Alex. Point of interest though from a reply Chelsea, someone needs to put out facts, and it can't be the person who's been dragging MrBeast since she lost hide and seek and got mad. The problem we have here, and it's a good point to make, and by the way your idea is actually good as well, is that what is or is not fact becomes subjective because of the earlier mentioned poisoning the well. The waters are muddied, so now it just becomes anger and people seeking not fact but confirmation bias. Nick Diorio, DogPack, delete your channel LMFAO. Included is a clip.
Hey, this probably isn't necessary at this point because this dude's credibility is shot, but I just want to point out another lie. So he says right here, we never claimed the image was in fact CP. We would not make a claim based on one source and vague legal code, okay? But they did.
This to everybody, and this is just, why would a dragon do that? Looks uncomfortable.
All right, I don't want to show you this, but if you say you want to see it,
I want to do this, so
okay,
I'm gonna read it.
This is the most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting, but this is.
You just flat out referred to it as CP there. So you can lawyer your way out of it as much as you want. It's obvious to everybody who watches this that you thought you guys were doing the big ultimate CP review, where you guys were like, oh my god, look, the see-through top or whatever. And then your friend went and, let me pull this up really fast. Your friend went and created a thumbnail with A and B testing. Look at this shit, dude, this is insane. Bro, these guys thought they had CSAM. Look at this shit. Holy what a bunch of degenerates. They were doing A and B tests to see which thumbnail with what they thought was CP would perform better in the algorithm. Dude, get these people out of here, bro. Hand this off to somebody who's actually capable.